Hello there, I'm Sonal Mehrotra Kapoor. Welcome to 5 Live. Did you also step out this weekend, see the smoky, thick haze hanging low over the city and wonder why? Despite the stricter anti-pollution measures, the GRAP guidelines haven't really kicked in. Are you also experiencing your eyes burning, your throat sore, head is pounding, and yet the air quality numbers don't seem to match what you and I are actually breathing or even experiencing? Well, you're not alone. Today, serious questions are being raised on the authenticity of Delhi NCR's pollution data. And that's our top focus today. But first, while we cough, wheeze, pop medicines for our headaches and crank up our air purifiers, there are still people out running, cycling, pushing for fitness in the middle of this toxic air. Sample these two events once we witnessed over the weekend. First, as many are now calling, marathon in 400 AQI. That's right. Despite pollution levels officially sort of marking as severe, AQI hovering over 400, hundreds of runners hit roads in Delhi, gasping their way through the haze. You can practically see those. That was still early morning. As the day progressed, we were already wondering what's really happening there. Also, another event happened. There was a cyclothon. This was in Dwarka under Vigilance Awareness Week of 2025. And that's not it. Fit India, Sunday on cycle. Look at that. Look at the haze on top of their head. While constantly we are talking about people should be wearing a mask, do not venture out, there you go. You're not just breathing the air, you are laboring your body to breathe that harder. And here's the irony. While Delhi citizens are running marathons in severe pollution, cyclists are pedaling through thick smog, the official AQI numbers somehow look cleaner than what the air feels like. So today we ask, is Delhi's pollution data being watered down too, being cleaned up as well? That's what we'll focus on today. But first up, let's take a look at some of the latest updates coming in. We're now getting news that Rahul Gandhi has slammed the BJP government over the choking national capital. Rahul Gandhi has gone ahead to say that BJP government is only giving excuses. Stop with the excuses. Public wants clean air is what he has said. He has also gone ahead to call it a national emergency. Well, we call it that every year, don't we? But those are the latest comments that are coming in. Also, he's gone ahead to say that MPs must debate and end the pollution crisis. All right, let's quickly listen in to what those comments were.
I've been having breathing issues, and eyes burning and stuff. And last 1 week has been terrible.
Yeah.
The damage is taking place throughout the year.
Throughout the year.
But people only realize it for a month.
और अभी हम 900, 1500, 1700 वीक मतलब टॉक्सिक एयर का कंकॉक्शन हम ब्रीथ कर रहे हैं और नॉर्मली ब्रीथ कर रहे हैं।
तो सोल्यूशन कहाँ से आ सकती है?
सोल्यूशन लार्जली एज अ सेड, अगर आपको सोर्स पता है और अगर पॉलिटिकल विल और पॉलिटिकल अर्जेंसी है, तो सबसे पहले तो वेहिकुलर पोल्यूशन अगर 50% है और साल भर है, तो पब्लिक ट्रांसपोर्ट नीड्स टू बी एक्सपीडाइटेड.
Right, those are the comments coming in from Rahul Gandhi. But let's take this debate to the people who are actually, at the thick of it all. Now, so far on 5 Live, we've been talking to doctors, we've been talking to experts, trying to understand what is it that we are doing wrong, trying to also understand the health implications of this entire air emergency, because that's what it is. But today we've decided to take a pause on that and look at the politics after all. Why? Because it's come down to those numbers. It's come down to us asking the questions on why events are being held. It's come down to asking why are water sprinkling activities taking place only around where the monitoring stations are. What is this watering down of pollution numbers? Let's bring in Saurabh Bharadwaj, former Minister of Health of Delhi, now a senior leader of Aam Aadmi Party heading the Delhi unit as well. Saurabh Bharadwaj, welcome. You were one of the first people who went ahead, got that entire video out showcasing how one tanker after the other was actually going around and trying to compromise the numbers in a way. I think compromise is the right word here. They're not really tampering with the numbers. They are just ensuring that the numbers you see don't add up. Now, why do you think that's happening in the first place? Even if the numbers are, say, below 400, it's as bad. Why do you think the government is really going after it?
I think the BJP government in Delhi, they are in a kind of a hurry to showcase that, look, they could do things which other governments could not do, and they do not have the real intent of solving the problems. Instead, they just want to create a narrative, and just because they want to create a narrative, irrespective of the health of the people, I think somebody has suggested them that you start, showering water over these AQI monitoring stations. And this started a long back, as soon as the government was formed, they tendered 6 more AQI monitoring stations, which were strategically placed at the campuses of engineering colleges, JNU, IGNU, the forest ridge area we have in Delhi, just so that the average AQI of Delhi can come down. We did a small press conference for that, but still, even after doing those things, the AQI was going up. And I think, in spite of the expose we have done and many other reporters have done, the practice still continues. So Delhi government is not afraid of any expose. They believe that even if out of 2 crore people in Delhi, 1 lakh people get to know that we are fudging the readings, at least 1 crore 99 lakh people will look at these readings and say, yeah, actually the government is working. So if you are cheated by anybody, you can go to the court, you can go to the police station, and the government will prosecute the cheater, the state. It is always state versus the accused. But what will happen to a country or a state where the state itself is cheating on the people, The state
so I have a
itself
couple
is
of
the
questions
cheater,
here.
You can't even prosecute
I have
them.
a couple of questions here, Saurabh.
So,
Number one, sprinkling
yes.
of water is an exercise that has been advised. They are supposed to do it all across Delhi NCR, right? So what exactly is happening if water is getting
Correct.
sprinkled on these meters? Can you explain that?
So I think for last many years it has been said that a large proportion of pollution which we see in Delhi is from the dust particles, okay? And because there is so much of vehicular movement and construction activities, so there is always suspended dust particles which form PM 2.5, PM 10, and which basically causes AQI to increase. So the practice which is recommended is that you do this sprinkling across Delhi on all the roads, so that this dust these dust particles do not, get into the air due to vehicular movement. So this is what is suggested. Now what the government thought that, why should we worry about the people or the dust particles across Delhi? Let's settle the dust particles right there on the AQI station. So when you have, launched your smog gun right on the top of the AQI monitoring station, what that smog gun is doing is, it is basically precipitating all the dust which is there around the AQI station, bringing it down, and the AQI station reading, if it is, let's say, 500, it will record it as 300. So when you say that Delhi's AQI is 400, I can say with the kind of fraud and the fudging which is happening around on all the AQI stations, it must be at least 150 above what is being told by the government.
No, but Saurabh, that's your
So if the
claim,
government
right?
says
That's your claim. What is the evidence behind
550.
this? What is the evidence behind this? Because if Delhi government,
No, the
there are how
evidence
many
is-
meters?
So I'll
there
tell
are
you
how
the
many?
evidence.
Just a second. How many meters are
yes,
there
so
all
I'll tell
across
you.
Delhi NCR?
So I'll tell you.
There are about
So-
6 by CPCB. There are another 30 that are put
I'll tell
by
you.
the Delhi government. Then there are others also which have been put in. So there are about 40 overall. They can't be doing it all over, right?
Yes, they are doing it all over. They are doing it everywhere. They are doing it in Dwarka, they are doing it in Jahangirpuri, they are doing it at Anand Vihar, and they are continuously doing it, and they are not scared of anyone, you know. They are not scared of Supreme Court, they are not scared of India Today, they are not scared of Sonal Mehrotra, nobody. So they are doing it continuously. Now, understand this dynamics. You know, when you take your iPhone and on that weather app you check that AQI, even that AQI is now tweaked. It is also a fudged AQI because iPhone is basically picking up this AQI from all the meters which are set up by the government. So you can depend on some AQI readings, for example.
Okay, I'm not sure what the
US
scientific
embassy.
evidence there
They
is,
have
but let me take that
categorically said
question.
that they don't believe.
Let me take that question to the BJP spokesperson who's here as well. Dr. Anil Gupta is here. Dr. Anil Gupta is here, senior leader of Delhi BJP, is an environmentalist as well. So I want to quickly get a word. All right, we seem to have lost that line with the BJP person, but let me go on to our next guest to actually get an opinion. Let me bring in Dr. Agni Kumar. He is a doctor. He's also a marathon runner himself. Dr. Kumar, my question to you first is this. To try and understand, I saw some visuals over the weekend of people running in when AQI was 400. I saw also visuals of people cycling out, going out when, again, the AQI levels are far bad. Not with masks, nothing at all. In your opinion, first up, and somebody who's an avid runner himself, do you think this should be happening in the current circumstances, in the current weather conditions?
Hi, Sonal. Thank you so much for having me. No, bottom line, long story short, not at all. So even when we're at rest, okay, we usually breathe about 5 to 6 liters of air at rest, at a relaxed cardiac output. When you're exercising, your breath, your respiratory demand can go up till 100 liters, 50 liters per minute. Like that's how fast you're breathing. Okay. Now imagine when you're taking in 20 liters, 50 liters, 100 liters of that poisonous smog, you're exponentially increasing your risk of chronic lung damage. You're exponentially increasing your risk of emphysema, COPD, asthma. So back in the days, when the AQI was still better, living one day in Delhi was equivalent to smoking 20 cigarettes in a day. Now, when we say living one day, we mean when you're normally eating, breathing, and just breathing at rest. Now, when you're exercising at such high cardiac outputs, you're doing yourself the biggest disservice.
I see. So what do you have to say? I mean, this seems like something all of us should know already, right? Why do you think people, do they not have basic knowledge about this, or they are still relying on the pollution meter, which is now coming under the scanner as well? Why do you think people are still stepping out? I happen to actually speak to a friend of mine who went for one of these runs, and I said that, what were you thinking? This weather is so bad. She's like, it's better. I can't help it, but I can't take a risk with my health, and I got to run. And look at them. There are hundreds, if not thousands, really out there. So what is the problem here? Are people just not understanding?
I think it's herd mentality. If you see a couple of people doing it, you want to do it. And by and large, people feel that running is good for your health. Cycling is good for your health. Yes, of course it is good for your health. But does running behind a car's exhaust pipe, is that good for your health? Of course not. So if I'm running behind, a pollution smoke, that exhaust vehicle, and I'm just breathing in carbon dioxide, carbon monoxide, sulfur dioxide, I'm actually causing myself more damage, more harm than good. So when the weather is so bad, please do not step out. Please do not exercise in that. The only luxury one, if you're luxurious enough to have air purifiers, where inside the room the AQI is very low, inside the gym the AQI is low. Okay, fair enough. That's your only excuse. But there is no way one should be doing these sort of activities when the weather is so bad. You're actually smoking. So you're smoking. It's effectively you're smoking. You've called 1,000 people to smoke.
Got it. But Dr. Kumar, the point is these were government organized events, right? These were people who, from RWAs, teachers, etc., who were all sort of, going in. So what does it say about our basic knowledge of
So
how we
it's
look at air and this entire air, emergency that we are in midst of, but we don't seem to be understanding.
we actually don't. I think sometimes we take it for granted. I would like to jog your memory back to COVID when people were against mass gatherings. And when lockdown had just started, people were all accumulating that we'll do yoga together, we'll do fitness together, we'll improve our lungs so much that COVID will not happen. So we come from from a country where all this is happening. People do not have, I think the word is, for lack of a better word, basic common sense. But that's something to be, that's where us health educators, we need to come forward and speak about it. And I'm glad you're talking about this, because this is insanity. This is nothing sort of short of stupidity to be holding such mass marathons, any sort of cycling events where you're swimming in smoke, you're swimming in smog. It's like, the Yamuna, the river is so polluted. I wouldn't recommend going there for a swim, would you? So why would you run in this kind of weather?
Nothing short of stupidity is what you're saying. But for those who perhaps don't get it even now, could you explain to us what exactly happens when you exert your body or get into a physical activity when the AQI is, or in fact, first tell me, what is a threshold? At what AQI should you say no outdoor activities, no exercising in these AQI?
So if we were to go by the threshold, then nobody in India could ever exercise. Uh, but let's say, so when you AQI less than, I think, 40 to 50 is considered in the good healthy category, which you see in a lot of, say, European countries, America, where the standards are they're much stringent, where pollution is very much under control, right? But let's just say, I'll explain it very simple language why one should not exercise when the AQI is so bad. So right now, you and I, we're not running, we're just talking, which means our respiratory rate is roughly 14 to 20 a minute. Roughly, we are taking in only 5 liters of air per minute. Okay. Now, this 5 liters of air is definitely contaminated because we're taking in all the smoke, the smog, right? Now, imagine when you have to start breathing 100 liters a minute, 50 liters a minute of all of this smoke, smog, dust, dirt, grime. Please note what you're doing to your lungs, right? So it's a very simple question. Is smoking 5 cigarettes a day bad, or is smoking 20 cigarettes a day worse? Of course, smoking 20 cigarettes a day is worse. So when you're exercising in such bad weather conditions, you're taking in so much exponentially higher particulate matter. Now, there is, for the body, there is no difference whether it is cigarette smoke, whether it is vape, whether it's that chulha which emits a lot of burns, where emits a lot of gaseous material, or whether it is pollution. Smoke is smoke, pollution is pollution. So effectively, it's equivalent to you smoking, vaping, running in this kind of weather. So not a good idea.
I feel that what you just said, that if we were to look at WHO recommended levels, we would never be able to exercise in India. And I think that's what gets people really irritated. And that's what people say that, okay, this way we'll never be able to do it, so might as well just do it. I think that's where it largely comes from. But thank you so much for joining us. Let me also bring in Dr. Anil Gupta now. He is a senior leader at Delhi BJP. He's an environmentalist as well. Thank you so much for your time, Dr. Gupta. I want to first start by asking you, there is a lot of question over the numbers and the pollution meters going around. It's not just the question of what Aam Aadmi Party, the opposition, has raised. Several people also, I see, constantly talk about reports in the media as well about data missing, about data being questionable. What exactly does the BJP have to say on the clear allegation that it is to avoid GRAP 3 levels that this entire monitoring system is being worked upon?
Yeah, good evening to you and all the viewers. See, the question of malfunctioning or fudging of the data is impossible. Delhi has the highest number of air quality monitoring station in the country. Delhi area is very small. The area is roughly 1,484 square kilometer. And as Delhi has 39 to 40 air quality monitoring stations.
Yes.
Hello.
All right, we seem to be losing that line with Dr. Gupta there. Dr. Gupta, if you can hear me, please go ahead.
Yeah, what I was mentioning that Delhi has the highest number of air quality monitoring station in the country. Sometimes, there is and all these monitoring stations are online connecting with the server of the CPCB. The online data is available. As compared to other cities, in Bombay, in Bangalore, in Chennai, and everything, monitoring station roughly 8 to 10. So after every 5 to 10 kilometers, you have a monitoring stations. There was a question raised during the Diwali that some monitoring station were done. There is a concept of UD link, up-down link, which connect the monitoring station with the server of the CPCB.
I
Sometime
got
when
that,
there is
sir.
a sudden,
I got
sometime
that.
when there
My
is
question is particular. I want to understand why is water being sprinkled not on all the roads of Delhi but only around the monitoring stations?
see, the sprinkling of water is there all over the city. Yeah, I mean, one camera is there which shows nearing the Anand Vihar, it is there. Anand Vihar is a hot spot. And with the sprinkling of water, it doesn't goes to the instrument of the monitoring stations. No data will change. The data is taken from the sky. The dust particle, the particulate matter, the NOx, the carbon and all things. Just, why the water is sprinkled? It is because only to suppress the particulate matter. And that is there
Yeah, but
everywhere.
why? But it should be suppressing particulate matter around where you and I are, right? Not where the monitoring station is.
That is true. I mean, what I'm mentioning that it is spreading all over the country. Maybe in one incident, as you have reported, that it is the nearing the Anand Vihar. You can go and check with the other monitoring station. There are 38 more monitoring stations. Anand Vihar is a hot spot. It may be possible that nearing that there was a sprinkling, but it doesn't make your data irregular or incorrect.
So very
This is
quickly,
what
I
I
want to
mean to
understand
say.
from you. Yeah, very quickly, I have to move on, but I want to understand this from you. When the AQI is so bad, I want to know why is the government organizing Fit India marathons and cyclothons? And the doctor who spoke just before you said that it is absolutely, stupid was his word, that to be organizing and putting yourself out there and exercising in this AQI levels. Why is the government doing it?
I cannot comment on that on the government, but even I am in the favor that when the AQI is high, the outdoor activity should be restricted. You go and ask the organizer, you are free to do that. But I am also of the opinion that outdoor activity should be
Okay.
restricted. And one more thing,
Yes.
what, just a minute, let me reply.
Sure.
What is the AQI today? It is nearing 400. And the BJP has got this in the legacy of last 27 years. If you compare the AQI of the last year, last to last year, last to last year, every year during the last 11 years, Delhi got the tag of red letter of the history, where particular matter crossed 999. And particularly in this Rekha Guptaism, from February to September, the AQI was in the normal
Yeah,
good
but sir, the
conditions.
point is, the
Only
fact
because of the
is
winter.
that today even the Supreme Court has questioned it. So it's not just the opposition, it's just not what people are saying on the ground. Supreme Court today has also questioned it and said that there are serious questions. So I think we need to sort of get into the heart of what exactly is happening here. But I appreciate your time here on the program to coming in and taking all those questions. Thank you so much. All right, moving on now to the other big story that we've been tracking, and this one is the one that will probably bring a smile to your face and perhaps a bit of hunger there as well at this time of the day. The story is coming in from Lucknow, which has been declared now a UNESCO Creative City of Gastronomy. Now, this recognition celebrates the city's centuries-old Awadhi cuisine. Not convinced? Take a look at the story for more.
On World Cities Day, the city of Nawabs has served up a global triumph. Lucknow is now officially a UNESCO Creative City of Gastronomy.
आ जाए थोड़ा अदब मुझ में भी मैं भी लखनऊ का स्वाद हो जाऊं. The taste of Lucknow has made things in a way that the world is accepting the brilliance of Lucknow's taste, be it the Mughlai taste or the sweetening of makhan, malai. We are present at the Idris biryani, the famous Idris biryani of Lucknow, whose biryani kulcha is famous all across not just the state but in the entire nation, even outside the world.
From the royal kitchens of the Nawabs to the nukkad stalls of Chowk. From kebabs to basket charts. From puri sabzi to mewa bites. Lucknow's legendary flavors have now earned a seat at the global table. At UNESCO's 43rd General Conference in Samarkand, Uzbekistan, Lucknow was crowned a creative city of gastronomy.
योगी जी और मोदी जी के नेतृत्व में जिस तरीके से उत्तर प्रदेश एक नई नई पहचान विश्व पटल पर स्थापित करने का काम कर रहा है, उसके लिए बहुत बहुत समस्त प्रदेशवासियों को बधाइयाँ, शुभकामनाएं।
The recognition celebrates centuries of Avdi cuisine, where every kebab and biryani tells a story of taste and tradition.
बहुत खुशी है मुझको, बहुत बहुत शुक्रिया। और इसके लिए तो हमारे नरेंद्र मोदी जी ने भी बोला है लखनऊ के बारे में, और मैं उनका भी बेहद शुक्रगुजार हूँ। और मेरी कोशिश यही है कि जो टूरिज़्म है उसको बढ़ावा दिया जाए, इसमें और क्वालिटी को और अच्छा किया जाए।
The title isn't just about taste. It's about tourism, employment and sustainability. In 2024, over 82 lakh tourists visited Lucknow, drawn by its flavors and tehzeeb. Prime Minister Modi lauded Lucknow's global recognition, saying the city is synonymous with vibrant culture and great cuisine, and invited the world to experience its unique flavors. He has lauded Lucknow chaat during his visit to Sydney in May 2023. With this UNESCO tag, Lucknow isn't just India's culinary capital anymore. It's a world kitchen where tehzeeb meets taste. In Lucknow, with Samarth Srivastav, Bureau Report, India Today.